Good morning. Let's see how we got on yesterday. Lots of draws to be targeted yesterday. Moving on down. Premier League, not much going on there. Arguably, I should have passed on Aston Villa's 2-goal habit away from home, suggesting at least a goal. Man City and Southampton, we'll be looking at it a little deeper. I thought Chelsea were in the Europa League places and therefore City were still vulnerable. But it looks as if on 65, I suppose Aston Villa could still get them. So that 0-0, I think it would have been important for Man City to have ended that. But Aston Villa with a win yesterday are still within touching distance of a Champions League berth. And that's what Man City could have nailed yesterday, really, with a win. Leyton Orient and Stockport County, yet again, second half goals. Second half goals in these playoffs. Did we get another second half goal at 8 o'clock from Wimbledon? Indeed, another second half goal. So it's a very, very strong pattern in these playoffs. Problem is, I can't tell you about these patterns until they've arrived. That's the problem. There's such difficult matches to unpack and to read. So much is at play, at stake. We've got a lot of that today as well. But let's have a look at yesterday. The main winner yesterday was Como. Just trusting Cesc Fabregas' side to come back into it. We did play Inter Turku and Maria Hamna, and along with the Swedish Allsvenskan, it looked as if it was just a little bit too early in the season to be wholly confident trusting a 1.42 shot. We did get an equaliser late on, care of a penalty, so we got out of that one. Did get a small loss on the draw in the hope of a bigger profit on the win, but just a warning to you, Finland and Sweden, still might be some surprises in store. So working our way down, German Bundesliga, well, French Liga, let's go in alphabetical order. French Ligue 1, 8 o'clock, I wasn't around for that, but the teams that are starred are the teams with need. A big surprise here with a Lille defeat against Brest. All of the others, European hopes. But Lille, oh dear, big loss against Brest. Could see them suffer in Europe. As you can see, just outside the relegation, just outside the top 6, by 3 points, Lyon. So that win for Brest, vitally important for them, but I don't think they'll be getting into the top 6 themselves, which is a pity. But still a lot of business to be done in French Ligue 2 as far as Champions League places, Europa League places, etc. But it looks as if Monaco have done the job. They've got themselves a guaranteed place, probably because there's only a match left and there's a 4-point difference to Nice. So well done, Monaco. Guaranteed Champions League football, these three now, but still plenty of a squabble to go for Nice, Lille, Strasbourg, and indeed Lyon. Still in with a shout for the Europa, the lower tier Europa places, and the Champions League qualifier, which is what they're all going to be aiming for there. So plenty of business to be done in France still. Le Havre didn't get a win yesterday, but they had a tough encounter against Marseille, looking for second spot. So they're going to have to look for another win in the next match. Still get them out of the relegation zone. If not, keep up not winning. All it takes is a W to change your season. French Ligue 2, didn't really play that yesterday. Well, I did. Laid the draw there. Lorient and Martigues quite convincing. Martigues did equalise to make it 1-1. Laying the draw there, you got a good tune out of that one. But we were running out of matches of interest, really. Guingamp and Pau should have laid the draw at the red-carded Pau because Guingamp desperately needed the win. Not one I got to you quickly enough. Take 3 points away, they've guaranteed themselves, pretty much. Guaranteed with that win. So top 5 and possibility of going into French League 1. In the Bundesliga yesterday, anything doing? Well, we're looking at taking on that draw yesterday because of the European element. Taking on this draw as well. This one came in. The problem with this one is when you're laying a draw, it's a neutral play. And when one of the teams doesn't turn up, i.e. Leipzig, until the 70th minute, you're in a spot of bother because you've got to trust one side to get you that single goal. But this should have been a vulnerable draw. The value here is to go in at 1.09, 1.06, right at the very end of the match. But if you do that, you're going to be missing out on earlier draws that end, such as this one, 58th minute. And this was one of those you've got to target. You've got to. Relegation, Champions League. So if you were going to be ultra picky, Freiburg match, Mirandes match would be the match that you'd be choosing this stage of the season. A relegation versus Champions League and a draw to boot. Such a tight Champions League battle. Looking down, Serie A, this was our main profit of the day yesterday. Como against Cagliari. Come from behind for Cesc Fabregas, keeping up the excellent run and a possible top 10 berth there as well. Superb stuff from them. Elsewhere, not much else. Hearts, as you can see, odds on continue to win. So that could be something for next season. Celtic and Hibs in the live stream. I just gave you a throwaway play. A 2-1, any unquoted in the half-time score market at 0-1 to Hibs. And if we look at the half-time score, got yourself a nice 7-8 to 1 profit there. 2-1 by half-time for Celtic. Dead rubber. So always flirting with disaster, of course, with those. But a simple play. Don't forget the half-time markets and the assumption from the low 1.3 shot will be leading by half-time. So 1.2 Man City, though, couldn't oblige either, where Real could. La Liga, anything doing there yesterday? Not really. Celta Vigo and Sevilla. Sevilla didn't take advantage of the red at 1-1. If you did lay the draw, Celta Vigo scored. So the draw odds would have flatlined and you could have got out with a break even there. Mallorca and Valladolid. Well, yes, they're 1.33. Yes, they conceded the first goal. Why didn't I pass this on to you? I just didn't see anything from Mallorca to react. They're not renowned for their goals. So I was looking for that, but I just couldn't see anything stats-wise from Mallorca. You could see just the 4 shots on target throughout the match. First half, 3 shots on, 3 shots off. They didn't look as if they would equalise, but if you trusted the market, you'd have got on at 1.33. You got it on higher, of course, with a Valladolid lead and a goal before half-time, helping the odds movement. On to today. And Sundays have been a little barren for live streams. It could be the case again today, but I will be on Telegram. That's for sure. It's just with a live stream on a Sunday. We've got 2 battles. We've got one. Nobody wants to turn up for a live stream on a Sunday, apart from about 4 or 5 people, which is not really fair on me having to do 2.5 hours, 3 hours for a very small audience. I would prefer to get a lot more people involved. And the football on Sundays has not been the best either. 2 o'clock starts have been non-existent. You can see that here. We've got 3 2:30 kickoffs today. 2 o'clock HJK, underperforming. Bayer Leverkusen, dead rubber. Dortmund, Champions League football. And Verona, Lecce. So I will be on hand, Telegram only, but I can't warrant a live stream. A, when nobody turns up effectively for a 2.5, 3 hour session. Only get 4 or 5 people. And B, not enough football at 2 o'clock, as you can see there. So I will be on hand for you, just on Telegram only. Not enough 2 o'clock football is my normal time. Why? Because all of these leagues are wrapping up. But what have we got on hand today? We've got the lower tiers beginning. It's all about this stage of the season. First Major League, Premier League. Newcastle I suppose, a little bit of a squabble, Newcastle and Chelsea, for those European places. Is it still required? Well, let's have a look. It's all about those in the Europa League and Europa standings, isn't it? Europa Conference standings. So it's these two. So still, there's a little bit of business to be done. Chelsea and Newcastle with Aston Villa on equal points, looking to upgrade from Europa League to Champions League. Nottingham Forest, even if they just get a win, if they can manage a win, they'll be on 64 points and they'll be pressurising Chelsea and Newcastle. So there's plenty of business to be done for Chelsea and Newcastle. Two sides were very similar lookout, I think, for me. 2.15 the favourite. Fascinating match. Man United are going to be fielding Steve Coppell, Bobby Charlton's daughter up front. You get the idea, with a Europa final set fair for them. This is an absolute dead rubber. Got to rest some of the key stars for the Europa League final. Get something out of the season. Dead rubber throughout. Nottingham Forest and Leicester. Well, you know Nottingham Forest must win, particularly with the possibility of these two taking points off each other. Don't forget this Europa fight. Let's have a look at it again. On 63, a win today for Forest, take them to 64. One of these two is going to be dropping points, or both of them is going to be dropping points. That's a guarantee. So a win today is an absolute must. This is one of those for the notebook here. And you're playing the right team at the right time as well, Leicester City. Tottenham and Crystal Palace, dead rubber. Tottenham deep in Europe as well. So ignore this one completely. Liverpool in the arse, just for fun. End of the season. Kickabout. Very little to interest there. Wycombe Wanderers and Charlton. Are we still involved in first legs? Indeed we are. So we've only really had Notts County as your archetypal 1-0, 0-1, 1-1 playoff scoreline. Do watch out for the second half goals elements for the League One and League Two playoffs. That's been a consistent pattern in all of these playoffs, Championship, League One and League Two. So that could be something to work with there. Backing 0-0 pre-match and getting out at half-time. You'll always get a good run for your money there as well. HJK been extremely poor this season. This should be title contenders in the Finnish Veikkausliiga, but Lord knows what's been happening with HJK. Draw and a win, a sign they might be coming back to themselves, but only a couple of 1-0 defeats. It's not a major panic. One of them was against likely title contenders SJK. Ilves are going to be in the top four as well. So that was a shock, a 1-0 Guinistan. But they're coming back into themselves, and a 1-1 against the Inter Turku, who are also going to be there or thereabouts. Not the side we know, not the trustworthy HJK we know. So watching brief, I would expect them to start fighting back at some point. Bundesliga, dead rubber for Leverkusen. Dortmund must win for the European fixtures. Talk about Frankfurt yesterday with Mainz, Freiburg doing their job to try to cement their European hopes. With Freiburg with a win, Champions League 4-point gap to Dortmund now, but Dortmund with a win today narrows that gap to 1 and could upgrade to Champions League in a future match. Frankfurt, well, it's all okay at the moment for Frankfurt. There's a 5-point gap, but still they could cement Champions League football with a win today. And you can see these three on 51 making it vitally important for Dortmund to take advantage of Leipzig continuing to draw. 3 draws in 4, dropping 2 points at each turn. Werder Bremen not winning. They had won 51 points. So Dortmund must get 3 in the bag to make sure that they distinguish themselves from the others on 51 points. So vital, and that they could do it against a dead rubber Leverkusen. Frankfurt must win as well, but St. Pauli are at the bottom. So this is going to be one of those late draws. St. Pauli just above the relegation zone by 2 points. Heidenheim getting the important win, but Holstein Kiel, who were leading, I think, losing. They are down. So business has been concluded in the Bundesliga at the bottom. So St. Pauli breathe a heavy sigh of relief today that thankfully the Champions League side, they don't have to get points off them. Dead rubber for St. Pauli. Well known for its beer. I'm sure the fans will be helping the local beer brand out. That's for sure. Stuttgart and Augsburg, bit of a dead rubber there. Bundesliga 2. Let's have a look. Hamburg, business has been concluded for them. They are up. Hannover, Greuther Fürth. Greuther Fürth just above the relegation zone, so still something to be finished there. Hannover on 49 points, but Greuther Fürth on 35. Plenty to keep them honest, that's for sure. Kaiserslautern and Darmstadt. Where are these two? Kaiserslautern 55 to the playoffs. How many matches remain this season in the Bundesliga 2? I think it's a couple, so it could still remain alive. Let's have a look. Stuttgart and Augsburg. We're looking at Bundesliga 2 now, so let's just go there. That would be better. Just check out one of these teams. They're all on 30, well, some on 32. Kaiserslautern on 32. I think a couple of matches left, 2 or 3 left. 2 left. So now we get a fair idea. It's still alive for Kaiserslautern. Must win today. Must win the next match and hope Elversberg don't. It's a very, very tough league to get out of. But it's a must-win territory for Kaiserslautern today. Darmstadt are safe as houses. Or are they? They can still be caught by Braunschweig, who are happy to be in the relegation playoff place, but could upgrade with 3 points to 38. So it's still a little bit to play for. Kaiserslautern and Darmstadt will be looking at targeting that one today. Kaiserslautern, Darmstadt down there. Regensburg and Karlsruhe. Again, just take a look at the league standings. Give you an idea. With 2 matches to play. Can't really be done. Karlsruhe, Regensburg are down. So that's a dead rubber. We've got to avoid dead rubbers at this stage of the season. Or at least play neutrally. So Bundesliga 2. Arguably Kaiserslautern the only real and Greuther Fürth, the 2 to look out for there. In Italian Serie A, let's have a look at the standings today with Udinese odds on against Monza. Inter Milan with the Europa final. Could that distract them? We will see. So let's take a quick look through Udinese and Monza. Udinese 12th. Monza are bottom and down. It looks like it's season over for Udinese, who won't be troubling any of the top 6. Dead rubber for me. Verona and Lecce. Let's take a look. Should be down the bottom end. Verona and Lecce. Lecce, well, plenty to play for. And indeed, Verona, 27 plus 3 is 30. Plus 3 is 33. Can still get Verona. Lecce can bring Empoli into the equation with a win today, or even a draw. So it's a vital match for Lecce, this one. That will be one to target. Torino and Inter, you've got that problem with Inter Milan. They've got Europa League final to think about. Is it Europa League or is it Champions? It's Champions League final, for goodness sake. But thankfully, it's business done at the top. All they've got a real squabble with, as you saw with Lorient and Paris FC, is who's going to finish top. If that's of any importance to Inter Milan, that's the motivating element there. Torino mid-table won't be troubling anybody. So arguably a dead rubber apart from Inter Milan looking for the title. And I suppose in a Champions League season, you'd be looking for the double. So that could be doubly interesting. for Inter Milan. Napoli against Genoa. Let's have a look. Is there any business remaining for Napoli? No, it's job done. The Genoese, they have any troubles? No, mid-table mediocrity. So that's dead rubber. But again, it's just an argument who wants to finish top. So I think Inter Milan will be seeking Champions League double. So that will keep them interested. I'm not sure about Napoli, but we will see. In the Eredivisie, how many matches remain this season? So you can see there's a lot of football today, but there's not enough at 2 o'clock. I will be floundering, and there's nothing more, nothing worse than dead space when you're doing a live broadcast. So just on Telegram for me today, for members, how many matches remain? We're all level on 32 or 31. The 31s have 3 remaining, so that's 9 possible points. So we'll work off that. Business concluded anywhere? Not even the title. Yes, it is. Ajax guaranteed Champions League football, I think. They're not title holders yet. Because there's plenty to play for with 3 matches. Even final to get in with a title shout if this lot continue to drop points as they have done recently. But that's a very, very outside chance. But still, going from the qualifier to the league phase, still with a win for Feyenoord, take them to 68. So I think Feyenoord, PSV, still plenty to play for. Guaranteed Champions League football. Ajax, the only thing now is whether they fancy a tilt at the title. That will keep them honest today. So plenty going on with the top 3, particularly Champions League. Improvement for Feyenoord rather than the league phase going straight into the, qualifying phase. Zwolle and Go Ahead Eagles, Pek Zwolle are thankfully surviving because the bottom 3 are so poor. It's a 9-point gap to Willemswee. A draw, of course, puts it out of mathematical certainty. Go Ahead Eagles on 47, a bit comfortable above Heerenveen, who failed to win yesterday because of a red card. They did come from behind to get the 1-1, but they were red carded and paid the price, and they could pay the price here. They needed to win yesterday, take that to 43 and have a tilt at moving up here. But now they're out of a chance. No, they don't. They just need to stick to 40, don't they? So Fortuna Sittard today, are they playing? Groningen, Sparta, Rotterdam. Are all this lot playing? So Groningen, no. Yes, they are. So watch out for Groningen. AZ Alkmaar as well on 50 points. Looking guaranteed of that playoff place. Can't really upgrade. So they're in the Conference League, AZ Alkmaar. But Groningen desperately need to take points off them. Turn that 38 into 41 and have a chance at European football. So yes, for that. Ajax vying for the title, arguably 20 against Utrecht. Not too sure of the motivating factor for these two. Well, there it is. There isn't one for me. The only, yes, there is. Utrecht can upgrade from the Europa League to the Champions League. So certainly plenty of motivation there for Utrecht. So we'll be keeping an eye on the Dutch football today. There is a lot of European elements to it. Utrecht and Twente, plenty to play for. Feyenoord as well. So busy enough. The Elite Serien, still early in the season. Who are your usual suspects? Well, we don't have them today. Molde and Bodo Glimt. We do have Molde today away at Bryn. Bodo Glimt are your standouts. Molde have had a poor start. As you can see, 11th place. 2 draws and a win, suggesting they might be coming back to something like our expectations for them this season. 2 draw against Bodo Glimt, against Rosenborg and Haugesund. It's brewing up nicely. Still a watching brief at this stage of the season, but they are our summer leagues. Spain, let's have a look through the standings. How many matches remain in Spain? Let's have a look. So any of this lot today, just see how many matches remain, and then we can determine our interest or otherwise. So I'll be on hand for you on Telegram, members of Football Trading Profits today. It's a pity I can't do a live stream. Well, I can do a live stream, but I'll be talking effectively to myself. That tends to be the Sunday habit. And there's not enough football at 2 o'clock. Two very, very informed sides with very little to play for. But let's have a look. Barcelona, Real Madrid. It's going to be a cracker, of course. So pretty much 34 for these ones playing today means 4 matches remain, including today. So there's a lot of business to be concluded. That's 12 possible points. So if we look at that radar, the 12-point radar. Atletico Bilbao, Villarreal, Betis fighting for the Champions League spots here that can't be caught. Betis can't catch Atletico Madrid. So again, this is a vying for the title today, these two. We normally used to see both teams to score in a Barcelona-Real Madrid match and over 2.5 goals. We will see. Mallorca winning yesterday. Keep their European hopes alive. But of today's sides, Leganes and Espanyol are 7 points above the relegation zone. Still a little bit of mathematics to be done. Leganes can still get out in 19th, so that's one to look at. Barcelona, Real Madrid, it's a derby-style match, but it's a title contender match. Atletico Bilbao and Alaves, poor show for Atletico Bilbao in Europe against Man United. They're a lot better than that. They are still in the Champions League spots. They are being threatened by Real Betis, the only real side that can capture them and take over their place. Osasuna are 11th, and with a win today, could threaten the 8th. So certainly, European football at the helm here. Title hopes and enough going on there to keep us busy, that's for sure. Spanish La Liga 2 will be the last league because this is turning into a war and peace. Watch out for Malmo a bit later on. Elfsborg have really impressed early season. I'll be on hand for these today. Hammarby and in the Superettan. Well, let's have a look at La Liga 2. How many matches remain this season in La Liga 2? I think it's about 3, but we will have a look. So those playing today on 38. 4 matches remain. So it's a lot of football to be played in La Liga 2. So it's not panic stations just yet. Not panic just yet. But looking at the top, even the title isn't concluded yet with 4 matches to be played. You can go all the way from 71 down to 59. Can still win the title if they win all remaining matches and they lose all remaining matches. So all of the top 6 still have, or top 7, top 8, top 9, arguably. Top 10, plenty to play for. Almeria are gettable, but these lot have to pick up the W's if they want any shot at getting out of this league and having a shot at the big time. So all of the top 10, I think, competitive football today. And at the bottom, 3 sides are down. It's a squabble now for Eldense to catch Zaragoza. But when you're suddenly starting to pick up 2 consecutive wins, that's the difference between the 2 sides, those 2 consecutive wins. Eldense must continue to keep winning to catch Zaragoza. These sides under 50 are relegation threatened. Mathematically so, highly unlikely, given the negative goal difference, of course. If they get to 49, 3 wins, they'll still not threaten the judge with 15th to 17th. So I think Eldense have got Zaragoza in sights, but a win today is an imperative for them. It looks like they're down, let's be honest, Eldense. But good luck to you today. Odds on at home, one I will be looking for. Superettan today and some peripheral leagues. Don't forget the tennis. Haven't got time to look into that. No live stream for me today. I do apologise. One Not enough 2 o'clock matches, and two, not enough attendees on a Sunday, I'm afraid. I don't know how that will improve. It is not the most convenient start time for a live stream, but I will be on hand for members of footballtradingprofits.com on Telegram throughout the day. My apologies for these live streams. If you've got any alternative to do Sunday coverage, maybe if I can do a commentary rather than sharing the screen. Something like a broadcast, just a verbal broadcast, maybe. Something to think about. Have a great day, and I'll see members of Football Trading Profits throughout the day from the first sign of a profitable trade, probably starting at about 12:30 today and moving on in. So an interesting day, but not enough 2 o'clock football for a live stream, but enough, I think, throughout the day to keep me ticking over and hopefully providing you with some trades. Just to mention on Mirandes yesterday, these are the kind of matches we're looking for. It's finally poised at 1-1, right? This is the kind of match you should be searching out for. What will an extra 2 points do for them? They'll take them within a shot of the playoff places. That's why I targeted Mirandes. That's the quality we're looking at today. Holstein Kiel, Freiburg, Champions League and relegation. Mirandes, relegation playoff. That's the motivation we want today to end those draws. Before I leave, let's take a quick look at Elche. And you can see why I got involved with Elche and why I shouldn't have got involved. I shouldn't have got involved because it's a top two clash. Okay? I.e., Levante are second because they're not getting rolled over. But if you look at the stats, you'll understand why I was with Elche. 24 total shots to 6. 12 corners to 3. So a tad unlucky. And don't forget, if you are in a trade and it goes against you, particularly if you've done +1, you can actually get out at the 1-2 with about a £4 or £5 loss on a £40 stake. So that 1-2 there, very well timed because the market suggests it could end 2-2. So that's a story for you yesterday. It shouldn't have been a great loss for you. Get out at the 1-2 as I suggested in Telegram. So some days it won't go for you. Again, this stage of the season, probably like Barcelona, Real Madrid, a top two clash is a derby style match and therefore, for me, best left alone. Have a great day and I'll see you all throughout the day from 12:30 onwards on Telegram.